Hi, I'm Alan. On this video. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to more Jumper Dash. Me and my friends had a little bit of a discussion the other day, and it brought up an interesting conversation because we were thinking, what is the hardest levels that have actually been beaten on 2.2 so far? Because a lot of the levels that have been beaten recently are either on physics bypass or 2.1 GDPS, which go for it if you want to. If that's how you enjoyed the game, that's how you enjoyed the game, go for it, right? But we were wondering, very few top players actually play on vanilla 2.2 with no physics bypass or no private server. So we started digging a little bit, and I wanted to share with you guys what we found. What are the top 10 hardest extreme demons beaten on Jumper Dash 2.2? Obviously, these are just going to be very high-end list demons, but there's not going to be a lot of them. I will preface before we start, I will not be including rebeats. So Zoink did beat Slaughterhouse on 2.2 without anything, like complete vanilla 2.2 before Mega Hack even came out. I will not be counting that simply because of the fact that I think it kind of defeats the purpose a little bit that people beat a level again for the sake of beating it on 2.2. Good job, Zoink, for beating Slaughterhouse on 2.2, but that is not going to be counted just because of the fact that it was a rebeat. If it wasn't a rebeat, I would have counted it, so on and so forth, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, let's hop into it. But plushie almost sold out. Go purchase. Link in the description, AeonAir.store. Go grab yourself the Prometheus plushie. Look at how round, plump, and awesome this guy is. Terrifying from the front. Anyway, the first level that... Actually, I'm going to start from number 10. So the 10th hardest level that has been beaten on 2.2 so far is... Arcturus, and it was done by Xe. Absolute GOAT. Xe has been on a tear. He's playing complete vanilla 2.2, and he has been beating some really hard stuff. Arcturus is one of them. If we go by the top 15, Xe has beaten like 4 of them. It's crazy. Xe beat Arcturus. Wave level. I want to mention this real quick. People have been saying that wave is really hard in 2.2 and ship is really hard in 2.2. There are a lot of wave levels on this list for some reason. Arcturus being the first one. Arcturus, a very hard wave ship level. That's number 10. Also, before we continue on with number 9 and onwards, I will have to say it is kind of difficult to differentiate between 2.1 and 2.2 in certain instances. So some of these might not even be 2.2. We just think they are. All evidence leads us to believe that it is 2.2. However, maybe we are wrong, maybe not. I don't know. We just kind of like went through most recent stuff that was added to the list post 2.2, and if it was 2.2, then thumbs up, and then we added it to this list. Anyway, let's keep going. Number 9, Unknown, beaten by Hover. Hover. I think it's Hover. Unknown, yet another wave level. A really hard one as well. Unknown is like, I don't even know how that was possible, I'm not gonna lie. As a wave anti-merchant, if I can say that. Unknown just looks stupid, and I don't know. I was very surprised to see that Unknown was beaten on 2.2, I'm not gonna lie, because of the fact that, well, I keep hearing people complain about the fact that wave is like super hard, and then we see like the hardest wave thing ever created pop up on this list. Kinda wild, you know, because Unknown is like 10 billion trillion spam everything, and I don't know, you're kind of surprising. Well, I didn't even know it was possible because of the really stupidly hard jumps in the pre-drop, but apparently they are. So Unknown is number 9. Number 8, yet another Xe completion, the GOAT himself, his hardest, Combustion. I don't know if I can call this a wave level. I was going to be like, oh, look, another wave level. I don't know whether or not it's a wave level. But Combustion is really cool. It's a level that piques my interest a little bit. The only thing is that it's probably the hardest thing ever made because it's like 45 seconds long. And oh my god, it looks so difficult. Cool level though. It's a Sersha level. As a Sersha bootlicker, I suppose. It is really sick, but wow. Combustion is one of those levels that it feels like it would be the hardest thing ever made. Simply because of the fact that it probably is. Like, look at some of these gaps here. You can't tell me this is the real level. I'm not gonna lie. Cannot tell me this is the real level. It just doesn't seem like it would be possible, but hey. Combustion is cool, though. I like Combustion. I wish I would combust. Number 8. This one came as a surprise to me because, 1, I did not expect it to be beaten on 2.2, and 2, I did not expect it to be beaten, period, because I've never heard anything positive about it. Mayhem is beaten on 2.2 by Quiver. And I have genuinely no idea how he did that. Quivered is absolutely unreal. Shoutouts Quivered. Completely unrelated to Mayhem, but he played in the Rust GD World Tournament thing recently. And the day before GD World Tournament, he beat Rust is Dead, which is Rust 3 times in a row. Kind of a goated player. I'm not going to lie. Quivered is absolutely insane. but he beat Mayhem on 2.2, and I don't know why or how anyone would ever do that, because Mayhem is one of those levels I hear that you play the first 20% for like 700 trillion hours, and then you get one attempt past it, and you're like, oh my god, and then you die to something stupid because you have to plunge your cheeks for like a minute and a half straight. Mayhem is an interesting level, though. Mayhem beaten by Quiver somehow. I don't know how. Also, before we continue on, I'm going to be leaving a link to all of the players in the description, so if you want to check them out and support the GOATs, go do that. Next up is Edge of Destiny. Edge of Destiny beaten by Lobster. Lobster is on a tear. I'm gonna say that real quick. Lobster is just simply on a tear in 2.2. As a regular user of the Extreme Demon server, I see Lobster just occasionally pop in with like some new insane completion, and it's really wild because his hardest wasn't that hard not long ago, and then he just suddenly beat really hard levels in 2.2. I think he got the 2.2 skill buff. I'm not gonna lie. He just suddenly became like the greatest player of all time, and it's really cool. I really like seeing stuff like that where people just take advantage of the new update and then just go on a tear, and Lobster is one of those people. At number 5, we have another wave level, and it's by the god himself. Nominee for best player of 2023, we have WizKid. WizKid is unreal, very good at the game, and he beat Solar Flare on 2.2, and he is currently trying to beat another level on 2.2, I'm pretty sure. Also plays a little bit higher on this list, but regardless, WizKid beat Solar Flare, and I feel like wave levels are just gonna be the go-to for really hard stuff on 2.2, simply because of the fact that it didn't really change much. For a lot of people, it's a little bit better. You have a little bit less delay to click, so wave is a little bit more responsive. At least that's how it feels for me. I feel like I'm way better at wave in 2.2 personally, and because of the fact that wave levels just don't break with 2.2, I feel like a lot of the hard stuff that's going to be beaten going forward until levels are fixed and like rebalanced to be like perfect 2.2, we're going to be seeing a lot of wave stuff, and Solar Flare is one of them. But I think I kind of expected Solar Flare to be one of them, because it's... Do I? No, not really. But that's just a Solar Flare thing, because of the fact that Solar Flare genuinely looks like it would be impossible. Like, there are some wild gaps in this level, but it's beaten on 2.2, and that's really cool. I don't know how it is, and that's really awesome. WizKid, goated player. Now, here comes the first one that was beaten on a bug fix. If you do not want to count bug fixes, that is completely valid, I will just say, because technically speaking, this level doesn't actually work on 2.2 currently. It is the Hallucination by none other than Jake. And for those of you who do not remember Jake, it is a card, the original person to beat every single rated 9 circles level, which makes this way cooler, I think, because it's the OG 9 circles guy, and he beat the Hallucination as a hardest on 2.2 with a slight fix because it is bugged. But the 9 circles guy beat the 9 circles level on 2.2, and it is currently the 4th hardest level to be beaten on 2.2, and I think that's really sick. I'm not gonna lie. Really, really cool. It is another wave level, though, in the update that people say is awful for wave, but it isn't awful for wave because there's like 1,000 wave levels that have been beaten. Next up is another bug fix level, but it is Lobster again, and Lobster beat Limbo, which also a couple or other people are currently working on. Tech is playing it currently. Go Tech, you got this. I believe in you. But Lobster beat Limbo on 2.2 like a week after he beat Edge of Destiny as a hardest, which is crazy. I don't know how he did that, but he did. He beat Limbo on 2.2. Limbo is the 3rd hardest level that has been beaten on 2.2, and it is kinda wild. Actually, I don't know why I'm considering it wild. It's Limbo. Limbo is just one of those levels that everyone's going for. Limbo has like 1 billion victors, so I mean. But hey, Limbo is the 3rd hardest level that has been beaten on 2.2, and I thought that was interesting. I thought it would have been lower, personally, because it's kind of crazy to think that the 3rd hardest level that has been beaten on 2.2 isn't even top 15 anymore. Wow, that's kind of wild, actually, come to think of it. Yeah, that's... Whoa, that's... Number 2 is a level without wave, which is... Every single level so far has had wave, and a lot of them have had a large majority of wave, with the exception of Mayhem and Limbo. It is MINUSdry by the GOAT himself, Person Human Fortitude, who beat it very quickly after 2.2 came out because he was playing it over in 2.1. Then 2.2 came out and he was like, damn, I guess I gotta play on 2.2 now. And then he beat MINUSdry like a couple weeks later. And this level is insane to be beaten on 2.2 in my opinion, because jump height is lower and there are a bunch of ridiculous timings in this level, making it super hard. I wouldn't be surprised if MINUSdry is low-key probably underrated on 2.2. I don't know for sure though. But like everything that is made harder in 2.2, MINUSdry has 1 billion of, so possible. And number 1, to no one's surprise, is Doggy's KOCMOC completion, another wave level, but KOCMOC is really hard, and I was really happy to see that Doggy beat it on 2.2. I'm not gonna lie, it's really impressive. just really impressive. As a person whose hardest is actually top 15 on 2.2, I'm not just saying it's top 15. It's really sick to see people still be able to do these kind of things. I am still a massive advocate for playing on 2.2 without any form of bypass or any GDPS, just because I think that is where the game has moved at this point. So it is fun to see people still shred really hard stuff in the top 10 on 2.2, even though it is one level. But that's fine, right? People get to play the game however they want, and that is perfectly okay. Seeing someone beat something this hard on 2.2 gives me that hope that despite people complaining about 2.2 and how things have changed with difficulty in 2.2, I still hold out hope that there are going to be people beating levels in the top 10 on 2.2, and it's going to be very exciting. I know Quivert is playing Abyss of Darkness on 2.2, and I think someone is playing Silent Clubstep on 2.2. So maybe soon we're going to see those beaten on vanilla 2.2, and that would be really, really cool. I'm going to be leaving a link to all of these in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I just wanted to share this because I thought it was interesting. Quickly, the 11th hardest is Belladonna by Skizzle. Sonic Wave Infinity is number 12. Number 13 is Sinister Silence, and number 14 is Sarix Never Clear, which is my hardest. That's me. Woohoo! Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys around. Eat your green stuff. It's a hydrated. Take what making mad, but I hope mine is a little bit better too. I just wanted to share this because me and my friends got on the topic and I thought it sounded interesting. And I wanted to shout out some goated 2.2 players. Get plush. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys around. Eat your green stuff. Stay hydrated, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, everyone.